So this is going to be a practice for your upper back and your neck to help reinforce the good posture, which could be contributing to your neck and your shoulder chronic pain. This is going to be a great class that's good to do after you've been on the computer for a long time, or maybe you've been writing or painting or doing something where you're at a desk, or even driving where you're kind of hunched forward and been sitting in a chair for too long. So this will help to open up the shoulders and the chest and strengthen the entire spine, but with a focus on the upper spine. So we're going to start seated on a block, and if you don't have a block, what works really good is a stack of books or a pot, like a soup pot that you can sit on. And you want to make sure that you're sitting on the bony part of your butt. So scoot a little bit more forward on the block so that you're kind of sitting at the anterior or the front edge of the block, so that your knees are either in line with your hips or below your hips, just to kind of keep the joints open. And then we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together, roll them down the back, keep our chest open. Your palms can be down or up, and then engage the belly. And then you're going to take your head, your chin, and push it back towards your spine to open up the back and the front of your neck. And this might feel a little bit awkward, you might feel a little bit stiff, but you're training your body how to sit with the spine in perfect alignment. And pretty soon the muscles will just stay there and the bones will be stacked and you'll feel open, but it takes some getting used to. So take a couple breaths here, just sitting in this posture. Trying to direct the breath into the chest and in the upper back. So with every inhale, you feel the expansion of your back and of your chest. And every exhale, the whole compression, gentle contraction of your upper torso. Maintaining a firm seat onto the block or soup pot or books, whatever you're using. The abs are engaged. Your rhomboid muscles, the shoulder blades are engaged and squeezing together, almost like two hands are pushing your shoulder blades into the front of your body. And then your chin is pointing back, not towards your chest, not down, just back towards the spine gently. 2 more breaths like this. Okay, and then gently move yourself off of your block. So come onto your hands and knees. Move the block out of the way. And your toes can be tucked under, or they can be flat with your tops of your feet onto the ground. You know, your hips directly above your knees and your shoulders directly above your wrists. Remember the shoulder blades squeezing together that we were just doing, the abs engaged, the back of your neck long, and that chin pushing towards the back of your spine to keep everything open. And just breathe here for a couple breaths. Training the body to stay in this alignment, belly engaged, shoulder blades engaged, back of your neck long and open and free. And then the weight on your hands is into this pointer finger and your thumb. So you're creating a little stable triangle. If you look down at your hands, the thumbs would be the base of the triangle and the pointer fingers would be pointing towards the tip. So your shoulders are open. All right, and then we're gonna practice doing a little bit of extension. So first, Extend your right arm out towards the front of the mat, thumb pointed towards the sky. Try to keep it in line with your ear, and shoulder rotated outwards and down. So you're not crunching your shoulder towards your head. You're trying to keep it open. And if you have limited range of motion here, you can open your arm out to the side. You want to maintain that length in the back of your neck, maintain the abs and the shoulder blades engaged. Nice, and then put it down. And we're gonna go to the other side. So left arm out to the front, thumb pointed out to the top, shoulder blade rotated outwards, abs engaged, back of your neck long, chin towards the back of your spine. And just breathe here for a couple breaths. Remember, you can have your arm out to the side if you don't have that much range of motion. We're trying to maintain the length in our spine as we do these movements. And then your arm can come back down. And then we're gonna extend the leg. So start with your right leg out to the level of your hip. Try not to hike your hip up too much. Try to keep both of your hip points pointing towards the earth. You can flex or point your toe. He's pointing his toe, but whatever feels the best in your body. Remember, abs engaged, keep your shoulders engaged, keep your neck long, chin towards your chest. Or not your chest, chin towards your spine. And then put it down. And then right leg extended. No. Or sorry, left leg. Point or flex your toe. Try to keep your hips pointing down. Shoulders open away from your ears. Chin towards your spine. I might be repeating a lot, but it's good to be reminded as we're, retraining our body to be in alignment. And try not to lean too far out into the right hip. Try to keep your hips stacked. Last breath, inhale. And then exhale, put everything down. You can round your spine, let your head drop. You've been, engaging for a while. Belly to spine on your exhale, and then inhale, look up to the sky. Let everything sag. And then exhale again, round your spine. And then inhale, look up to the sky. Perfect. Now we're going to come back to the neutral spine, where we were before, engaged. Come down to your forearms. So keep your hands flat on the ground. If you can, if that's too hard on your wrist or you have something going on with your hands, you can make fists and push the outside of your fist into the ground like this. And then you're going to extend one leg at a time, engaging your abs the whole way, trying to straighten your legs as much as you can. And remember that chin towards the spine. Again, try to maintain the structure and engagement of your rhomboids and your shoulder blades, and your abs are for sure contracted to support your spine. Push weight evenly into your hands. If you notice you're rolling more to the outside, try to roll more to the inside. Just a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips down to the ground. Keep your elbows on the floor. Look up to the sky. Engage your rhomboids. Try to feel like you're pulling the mat down towards your feet, so you open up your chest. If it's too much for your neck, you can let it hang down in front to lower your head if you've been using it too much. Play with some range of motion and then just hang out there. Push onto the tops of your feet. Engage your legs. Lift your knees off the ground if you can. So this is a little bit active. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then lower all the way down to the mat. Belly on the mat, arms down by your side. Look to one side of your mat, whatever feels easier for you. Try to get your ear onto the mat, shoulders relaxed down. It's a nice little stretch for the side of your neck and your traps. It's very gentle, but it feels really good. And then place your hands next to your shoulders, head straight. So you want your thumbs to be in line with your chest. So middle finger in line with your shoulders. And then you're just gonna push into the ground and lift your chest up. Your head and your chest. Leave your feet on the ground. Push into your hips. No. Put hips down, chest up. There we go. So squeeze your rhomboids together, chin towards your chest. You don't have to strain your neck. You can keep your neck long. Maybe take some of the weight out of your hands and see if you can put that weight or that strength up to hold you up into your back. So your whole spine is engaged. And then lower down. And look to the opposite way, so you're getting a stretch. On the other ear, release your arms down to your side. Let your elbows get heavy. And then you can repeat what we just did, or you can look forward again and interlace your hands back behind your back. So you're clasping all your fingers, weaving them together. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then use your back strength to lift your body up. Don't strain your neck. Keep your shoulders engaged, abs engaged, belly. The whole spine is strong. Counteracting all that hunching that we do when we're in daily activities. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. Turn your head the opposite way, the first way that you did. So if any of those 2 options felt better for you, you can repeat that again, or you can try something else. Take your right arm out to the front in line with your ear, look forward. And we're gonna push the right top of the foot down into the ground and the left hand down into the ground. So flip it so your palm is flat. And we're gonna push these opposite hand and foot into the earth, and we're gonna lift the right arm and the left leg up and lift your head. So working asymmetrically, because sometimes we are asymmetric and we have one hand or one side of our spine that needs more strength than the other one. So this is about you learning your body and figuring out what it is that your body needs. So 3, 2, 1, lower down. And then we're gonna switch sides. So right arm down, left arm up by your ear. Push into your left top of your foot, engage, and then the right leg lifts, left arm lifts, back of your neck towards the sky. Engage your core, engage the back of your spine. And breathe. Don't hold your breath. Keep the chi moving. Keep all the breath moving through your body. For 3, 2, 1, and release both arms down by your hips. Bring your legs together. Try to keep them touching. Push into the tops of your feet. Lift your kneecaps. Arms out by your ears if you can, or not. You can repeat any of those things that we just did, or your hands can be down. And exactly, we're gonna lift. So hands lift up to the sky. Thumbs up to the sky, shoulder blades out of your ears, rhomboids contracted, whole spine is engaged, your belly's engaged, and maybe you can lift both feet. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Look to one side. Maybe shake your hips out side to side, wiggle them around. And then you're gonna push your hands into the mat and bring your knees out wide. You're gonna come into a child's pose. So push yourself back up into that tabletop. Move slowly. Toes touch together, knees go out almost as wide as your mat or as wide as you can get them. And then sink your hips towards your heels. Stretch your arms out towards the front of your mat. And then rest your forehead onto the ground. And if this is too much on your shoulders or your back, you can bring them back beside you, next to your hips. And then just breathe here. Let your breath be a massage to the spine. So with every inhale, feel your lungs expand and open up all the vertebra and the intercostal spaces in your ribs. And then exhale, contract. And let your forehead get heavy. Let the weight pour out from the back of your neck into your forehead, into the earth, and let yourself be supported there. Get some acupressure from the ground. And then we're going to stay in pretty much the same position, but you're going to lift your hips so they're directly above your knees. Lift your head. Walk your hands out forward and let your chest melt to the ground. So let gravity just kind of pull you down. Should feel a little bit intense in your shoulders. See if you can externally rotate them. So rotate the shoulders away from your ears and down. And it might feel a little bit pressure on your chin, but we're trying to re-establish that curve in the cervical spine. And then just try to hang out here and breathe and enjoy it. Just 5 breaths. And then you want to come out of this posture slowly. If you want to stay in it longer, you can. Push your hands into the earth. Bring yourself back up to that tabletop position that we were in before. So your shoulders directly over your hands. This is just a transition because we're going to move onto our back. So however you want to get there, we're going to make our way on to laying on our back. So both feet on the ground. Try to keep your knees in line with your hips so you don't want them splaying too far out. Rock your shoulders underneath your back. So trying to scoot them. Yeah, try to lay on the outside corners of your shoulders. And you're going to push into your feet and lift your hips up to the sky. Push your hands into the mat to help support your shoulders so your palms can be flat. If you can interlace your hands underneath. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Hips up to the sky. Feet flat on the ground. And then you're not putting any weight onto your neck. Your weight is all in your skull. So I don't know if you can see, but Nacho has a little bit of a light shining through his neck. And I should be able to put a pencil there and shake it around because you're not putting any weight on your cervical spine. Your weight is on the tips of your shoulders and the back of your head. So engage your spine, pushing your hips up, deep belly breathing. And then lower down, one vertebra at a time, slowly. Don't drop yourself down. And then just pause here. So maybe you interlaced, maybe you pushed your palms into the earth when you were doing that back then. Or maybe this time you want to, if you're laying on a towel or a yoga mat, whatever you're laying on, you can grab the outer edges of it and pull them apart to help you as you lift your hips and engage your shoulders. Push your shoulders into the ground, the back of your skull into the ground, hips up. Just whatever feels good for you. And breathe here. Into the nose. Slowly out through the nose. Last deep in breath. And exhale. Lower down. Slowly. Through 3, 2, 1. And we're going to come up one more time. So pick the variation that works the best for you. Engage your feet, push them to the ground, lift up your hips, push into the sides of your shoulders, the tips of your shoulders, back of your skull. Lengthen the front of your body. Don't forget to breathe. And lower back down. For 3, 2, 1. And then take your arms outstretched to either side of you, level with your shoulders. And you're just going to drop both of your knees to one side of your mat. And then look to the opposite way. And just let your body get heavy. You can stack one knee on top of one another if that feels better for you. Try to keep both shoulders on the ground. Let your hips get heavy. And then slowly, using the strength of your abs, lift your knees up to center. And over to the other side. Dropping your knees to the other side and looking the opposite way. Try to keep both shoulders on the ground if you can. Just surrendering, letting everything get heavy, and enjoying this twist. And then come back to center. Extend both legs to the front of the mat. And then both arms down by your sides, palms facing up. And before we rest in the final Shavasana, I want you to bring attention to your sacrum, the base of your spine, the little triangle bone in the back of your hips and the back of your skull. And I want you to push, you may not have like a big movement, but you push your sacrum into the ground and the back of your skull into the ground. And I just want you to feel what that does to your shoulders and the rest of your spine. See if that relaxes your spine at all. Engaging the very tip, top and the very bottom. And then release that and let everything sink into the floor. Let go of any muscle constraint. let your whole body just melt and get heavy. When the bones feel like they're supported, the muscles can relax. So feel free to stay in this Shavasana as long as you need to. I suggest that you do this for at least 3 minutes a day, just so that your body and your spine can be supported by the earth and by some hard surface. If it's too much on your low back, you're welcome to bring a chair into the mix. I don't have one readily available right now. And you could bend your knees and put your feet onto the seat of the chair. And that will help to release the low back if you have any low back tension, which of course we know that the whole spine is connected, and the low back can contribute to upper back pain as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can, for the next time that you practice this, you can put your feet up on a chair or even up on a wall. And feel free to stay here as long as you like. Thank you for doing this practice with me, and I look forward to making more videos. All right, bye.